Hello, lovely. Welcome to another episode of the Psychology and Manifestation Podcast with your host, Sudane Firestar. I am so grateful you are here. So, today's episode is all about scarcity mindset and also feeling like you have to humble yourself to make other people around you feel comfortable because that is blocking your manifestations or at least slowing them down. Because if you want to become an energetic match for your desires, then you need to be comfortable being authentic, stepping into your greatness, being okay with shining and standing out. And I talk about this a whole lot in my brand new program, Audacious Audio. So if you have not yet enrolled and you are ready to become the bold and fearless podcaster, you got to get in there. All right, so let's talk about this. You know, when we're growing up, we're taught to be humble, we're taught to be polite, and that bragging is a negative thing. But the thing about that is that you have to consider, how does that benefit you? How does humbling yourself, if you actually look up the dictionary definition of humble, it can mean that you are making yourself inferior in some way if you're humbling yourself. So, how does that benefit you? The truth is that it doesn't. It benefits the people around you who are uncomfortable or dissatisfied or feel insecure about whatever is going on in their own lives. And that's why they are triggered. And that's why it bothers them when you brag about yourself, celebrate yourself, talk about all of the great things that you are accomplishing or wish to accomplish in your own life. This topic for this episode was inspired by a conversation I was having with someone the other day who mentioned that there was a gap in an industry that she wanted to fill. And she's like, yeah, if the gap is there, then yeah, I might as well be the one to fill it. And in my head, I'm thinking, yes, girl, of course. If you were in my orbit, then I am always going to be behind you. I'm always going to support you. I am always going to be happy for you to step into your greatness and to be number one. I have no problem with that. That does not make me feel insecure or less than because you see yourself as being the one at the top of your game. I admire any women who are willing to shine and to talk about how amazing their work is and how amazing they are. That inspires me. I don't feel small because they feel great and they love themselves. I think that is incredible. So, rewinding back to the conversation I had, this person who was very confident in herself, I think since I'm a new person and she doesn't really know me that well, was like, oh, well, there's space for everyone. And she didn't need to say that to me, but there are so many people who are not happy with themselves or who feel insecure and like someone is stepping on their toes if that person wants to stand out and shine. But it's not your job to make yourself feel small, to make other people feel big. That is their inner work. That is their job. And, if you hang out with me, like I said, I'm always going to lift you up. And I'm always going to be like, yes, girl, you want to be number one? Go be number one. As this woman said in this conversation we're having, there is space for everyone. But I don't think that that takes away from me or anyone else if someone wants to say, I'm going to fill this gap. I'm going to be the one. I'm going to be the most amazing woman in this industry that anyone has ever seen. Like we're all creating our own realities. And we also get to be the biggest, brightest stars in the worlds that we create or the realities that we create for ourselves. And that doesn't mean that anyone else is inferior or small unless that's what they already believe about themselves. So, my point is, don't feel the need to humble yourself to make the people around you feel better about who they are. That's their responsibility. It's their job to be confident and to work on their own self-worth, just like you're working on your own self-worth. I've been working on my own self-worth and I've come a long way, and you've come a long way. And there's no reason to dim your light to make other people feel comfortable about themselves. I think a great example of someone who embodies this is Amanda Francis. You know, I always talk about her here on the podcast, and I also talk about her in my course, Audacious Audio, because I admire her a whole lot. And I knew her way before she was on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And I actually don't even really watch a lot of reality TV at all anymore. And the backstory to the reason why is something I'll share on a different episode. But I'm still on social media. You know, I follow her on social media. So, of course, the algorithm is going to send me content about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Amanda Francis. So I get to see all these clips from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, you know, all the podcast interviews, all those different things. And then I also, because whenever there's something controversial going on, I want to know what people are talking about in the comments. I'm a little nosy in that sense. I want to know, like, what's the tea? What do people think? And there are a lot of people who are so mean and so negative in the comments, and they are so bothered by Amanda Francis's confidence with her career and her work and her money and how much money she has brought in and manifested through her business. People don't like hearing that. They're turned off, not everybody, obviously, but the people who are insecure are turned off by it, and they want to tell her what she shouldn't and shouldn't say and what they think is appropriate or inappropriate, and about, oh my gosh, I can't believe that she said that she makes more money in a day than her husband makes in an entire year. And they're so bothered by that. And they're bothered like on behalf of her husband, who's married to her, who clearly is unbothered by it. So why do they care? That's her relationship with her man. Yet other people feel like they need to moderate what she says and how she says it in her relationship, in her marriage with the father of her children. How does that make any sense? Anyway, I'm going on a little bit of a tangent, but the whole point is that Amanda Francis's whole job and what she stands for is getting more money into the hands of women who are doing great things in the world, because she knows that when they have more money, then they're able to do more good in the world. And the whole point is for women to feel comfortable and confident in talking about money and in receiving money. And anyone who doesn't feel comfortable making themselves feel big or talking about money is not going to manifest more money because they're insecure about this topic, or they're insecure about their own status. Anyway, I can rant and rave about this topic forever and ever, but the point is that if you feel like for any reason that you're dimming your light because you're worried that it's going to turn other people off, or you're going to lose friends, or your family's going to be mad, how does that make you feel? Do you feel happy? If you don't feel happy, then it's time to decide. You have to decide whether or not this is worth it, whether you really want to continue to be surrounded by people who don't get it, or who don't support you, or who are offended by you and your confidence and your willingness to shine and stand out and to be fully who you are, your authentic self. Don't dim your light. You deserve to stand out. You deserve to celebrate all of your accomplishments. And the more that you are confident and comfortable attracting everything that you want and winning and succeeding and going to your next level and getting promoted and getting the bonuses and earning millions, it's all going to come to you. Or the six-figure salary, it's all going to be more attractive to you, and you deserve to have it. That's what I have for you today, my love. And if you're not yet following or subscribed to the podcast, follow and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube, and like this video on YouTube and share this video or the audio version with anyone who needs to hear this. And until next time, I love you. Bye.